Welcome back to Time Capsule TV, where we uncover untold stories from the golden age of Hollywood. In this video, we're diving into the hidden lives of some of Hollywood's biggest stars, the stories they couldn't share back then. These aren't just tales of fame and fortune, but of secrets, love, and the length stars went to protect their true selves in a time when being different could end a career. Make sure to stick around until the end, where we reveal the fascinating story of a Hollywood icon whose hidden identity might surprise you. Number 1. Ramon Novarro. Ramon Novarro was one of Hollywood's first major Latin stars, rising to fame with his iconic role in the 1925 silent epic Ben-Hur. With his charm and striking looks, he became a heartthrob of the silver screen, capturing the hearts of fans worldwide and paving the way for future Latin actors in American cinema. But behind the glamour, Novarro's life was marked by inner turmoil. In an industry ruled by rigid conservatism, he struggled to reconcile his rising stardom with his identity as a gay man, living in secrecy to protect his career and personal safety. Though he achieved fame and fortune, Novarro carried the weight of hiding his true self, knowing that his livelihood could be destroyed if his private life became public knowledge. His private life remained hidden until tragedy struck in 1968. Two men, posing as visitors, brutally attacked him in his own home, ending his life in a shocking act of violence. The murder, fueled by greed and homophobia, became one of Hollywood's most infamous crimes, with the media sensationalizing his sexuality rather than mourning his tragic loss. Hollywood mourned the loss of a star, but the depth of Novarro's struggles and the dangers he faced simply for being himself remained buried for decades. In recent years, his story has been revisited, shedding light on the harsh realities faced by LGBTQ+ figures during Hollywood's golden age, and recognizing Novarro's resilience in an unforgiving era. His legacy is a poignant reminder of the sacrifices made by those who lived in the shadows, striving to protect their careers while silently battling the prejudice of their time. Number 2. Barbara Stanwyck. Known for her commanding on-screen presence and iconic roles in classics like Double Indemnity, Barbara Stanwyck captivated audiences with her strength and sophistication. A trailblazer in Hollywood's golden age, she became one of the highest-paid actresses of her time and earned a reputation for playing fiercely independent women. But off-screen, her personal life remained shrouded in mystery, fueling endless speculation about who the real Barbara Stanwyck was. Though she married twice, both unions were widely believed to be arranged to maintain her carefully crafted public image. Her marriage to actor Robert Taylor was often described as a Hollywood business arrangement rather than a romantic partnership designed to quell rumors and fit the era's expectations of public respectability. Rumors of Stanwyck's relationships with women followed her throughout her career, yet she never publicly addressed her sexuality. Close friendships with prominent actresses, including Joan Crawford and Marlene Dietrich, only added to the speculation, as did whispers about private gatherings at her home. In a bold move for the time, Stanwyck portrayed a lesbian character in the 1962 film Walk on the Wild Side, further fueling public curiosity about her private life. Her portrayal, while subtle, was groundbreaking in an era when LGBTQ+ themes were largely taboo in mainstream cinema. Despite the speculation, Stanwyck maintained a dignified silence, refusing to confirm or deny the whispers, which only deepened her enigmatic allure. Her refusal to conform to traditional expectations of femininity and her reluctance to live by society's rigid standards made her a revolutionary figure in Hollywood. Even today, her legacy remains a subject of intrigue, with scholars and fans alike fascinated by her mystery and resilience. Barbara Stanwyck's life and career continue to inspire, reminding us that some stars shine brightest when they choose to walk their own path. Number 3. Cary Grant. Cary Grant, one of Hollywood's most iconic leading men, shared a home, famously dubbed Bachelor Hall, with fellow actor Randolph Scott for over a decade. Their close bond and domestic life together sparked endless speculation in an era when such rumors could ruin careers. In a time when traditional gender roles and heterosexual relationships were heavily enforced by the studio system, the sight of two handsome stars living together in domestic bliss was both scandalous and fascinating to the public. Though Grant married 5 times, whispers about his relationship with Scott persisted throughout his life. The tabloids couldn't get enough of their friendship, splashing photos of the two lounging poolside or enjoying quiet moments at home. Publicity photos released by the studio often framed them as a pair of carefree bachelors, emphasizing their charm and good looks, but the intimate nature of their partnership fueled questions that Hollywood's rigid moral code refused to answer. Despite their closeness, both actors adhered to the expectations of their time, never publicly addressing the rumors about their personal lives. Grant, known for his polished, debonair image, remained tight-lipped, choosing to focus on his career, while Scott eventually retired from acting and led a more private life. Yet, even as they pursued separate paths, the photos and stories of their time together continued to captivate fans and biographers alike. Decades later, their story endures as one of old Hollywood's most intriguing enigmas, viewed by some as a symbol of love hidden behind the silver screen, and by others as a reflection of the era's unforgiving constraints. In an industry that often demanded conformity, Grant and Scott's relationship, whether romantic or deeply platonic, remains a poignant reminder of the lengths stars went to in order to protect themselves in a time when being different could destroy a career. Their enduring mystery adds yet another layer to their legacy, keeping audiences fascinated long after the golden age of Hollywood has faded. Number 4. Greta Garbo. Greta Garbo's mystique captivated audiences for decades, both on and off the screen. With her striking beauty, haunting performances, and magnetic presence, she became one of Hollywood's most celebrated stars during the silent and early sound film eras. But beyond her on-screen persona, it was her reclusive nature and refusal to conform to the norms of fame that solidified her status as a timeless icon. Known for her famous declaration that she wanted to be alone.
I suppose I can cancel the Vienna contract?
I just want to be alone.
Garbo fiercely guarded her private life, cultivating an aura of mystery that only fueled endless speculation about her true self. Throughout her career, rumors swirled about her relationships with women, including a supposed romance with fellow screen legend Marlene Dietrich, as well as close bonds with playwright Mercedes D'Acosta and author Salka Viertel. While many of these relationships remain the subject of debate, Garbo's choice to live on her own terms, eschewing Hollywood's expectations of marriage, children, and publicity, was seen as radical at the time. Her unwillingness to play by the rules of the studio system made her a trailblazer, both for her artistry and her independence, carving out a space for women to defy societal norms. Garbo never married or had children, further defying Hollywood's rigid mold for its leading ladies, who were often expected to embody the image of the perfect wife and mother, both on and off screen. Instead, she chose solitude, retreating from the public eye at the height of her fame. Her mysterious retirement in 1941, after the release of Two-Faced Woman, only heightened the fascination with her life, as she vanished from the spotlight without explanation, refusing to grant interviews.
I want to be alone.
I shall probably be quite alone.
Or make public appearances for the rest of her life. Even today, whispers of secret love affairs and untold stories continue to shape her legacy, elevating her from starlet to legend. Garbo's enigmatic allure transcends generations, making her more than just a Hollywood icon. She remains a symbol of fierce independence, mystery, and rebellion against societal expectations. Her enduring appeal lies not just in the film she left behind, but in the unanswered questions about the woman behind the camera, ensuring her place as one of Hollywood's most fascinating and enigmatic figures. Number 5. Rock Hudson. Rock Hudson was the embodiment of the classic Hollywood leading man, tall, dark, and impossibly handsome. With his chiseled features and effortless charm, he became one of the most sought-after stars of his time. But behind the glamorous facade, Hudson carried a painful secret. In an era when being openly gay could destroy a career, Hudson was forced to live a double life, carefully crafting an image of the perfect heterosexual heartthrob. Behind closed doors, he struggled with the weight of that deception, confiding in only a small circle of trusted friends. The pressure to maintain his carefully constructed image led to intense loneliness, as Hudson was unable to fully be himself in public or in private. Despite his personal struggles, he continued to deliver memorable performances, becoming one of the most beloved and bankable stars of his generation. It wasn't until his tragic death from AIDS-related complications in 1985.
The first time a familiar face was associated with that deadly disease, Hudson's death was also a rallying point in the fight against AIDS, CNN's Sandy Kenyon reports.
That the world learned the truth about Hudson's sexuality. His diagnosis sent shockwaves through Hollywood, as he became the first major celebrity to publicly acknowledge having the disease. His passing marked a turning point in Hollywood, forcing the film industry to confront both the AIDS crisis and its treatment of LGBTQ+ individuals. For many, his death put a human face on the epidemic and helped shift public perception, transforming him into an unlikely activist even in his final days. Rock Hudson's legacy is one of bittersweet complexity, a symbol of both Hollywood's golden age and the hidden struggles of those forced to live in the shadows. His story remains a reminder of the personal sacrifices made by LGBTQ+ individuals in a world that valued image over authenticity. Decades later, Hudson's impact continues to be felt, as his life and death remain a powerful chapter in the history of LGBTQ+ visibility and the ongoing fight for acceptance. In the end, his journey reflects both the glamour and the tragedy of old Hollywood, a place where stars often shined brightest while hiding their deepest truths. Number 6. Marlene Dietrich. Marlene Dietrich was a woman far ahead of her time, a trailblazer who shattered conventions and blurred the lines between masculinity and femininity. Known for her signature style, she famously donned men's suits with the same effortless glamour as her iconic gowns, making gender-bending fashion her hallmark. Her androgynous image, coupled with her sultry performances in films like Morocco and Shanghai Express, challenged traditional gender norms and captivated audiences around the world. In an era when Hollywood demanded conformity, Dietrich defied expectations both on and off the screen. She embraced roles that showcased her allure and ambiguity, often portraying characters who exuded sexual power and independence. Her rumored relationships with both men and women, including prominent figures like writer Mercedes D'Acosta and actress Greta Garbo, along with her unapologetic presence in Berlin's vibrant LGBTQ+ scene of the 1920s, made her bisexuality an open secret. At a time when such revelations could ruin careers, Dietrich remained unshaken, refusing to adhere to Hollywood's rigid moral codes. Dietrich never bowed to societal pressures, even when she became one of the first major stars to denounce fascism during World War II. She risked her career and reputation by speaking out against the Nazi regime, renouncing her German citizenship, and actively supporting Allied troops. Her courage went beyond her personal life and fashion choices. She used her fame to stand up for what she believed in, performing for soldiers on the front lines and advocating for human rights. Her fearless authenticity and refusal to hide her true self cemented her legacy as a revolutionary figure, a symbol of empowerment and liberation who remains an enduring icon in Hollywood history. Decades later, Dietrich continues to inspire not just as a glamorous star of the silver screen, but as a beacon of self-expression and defiance in the face of conformity. Her legacy reminds us that true power lies in embracing one's identity, no matter how unconventional or controversial it may seem. Number 7, James Dean. James Dean's rebellious image defined a generation, capturing the spirit of restless youth with iconic roles in Rebel Without a Cause, East of Eden, and Giant. With his brooding looks, magnetic presence, and raw vulnerability, he became a cultural icon almost overnight. Dean embodied a new kind of masculinity, one that was sensitive, introspective, and deeply complex, breaking away from the traditional tough guy persona that dominated Hollywood at the time. But the mystery surrounding Dean extended far beyond the screen, contributing to the legend that continues to captivate audiences to this day. Though publicly linked to several women, many of Dean's closest friends and colleagues claimed that he was gay or bisexual, a truth that in 1950s Hollywood had to remain hidden to protect his career. He was known for his close relationships with male mentors and friends, including actor Sal Mineo and screenwriter Rogers Brackett, fueling speculation about his private life. Dean's sexuality, much like his personality, defied easy labels. In interviews, he hinted at his fluid approach to love and identity, famously saying, "I am not going to go through life with one hand tied behind my back." Dean's life was tragically cut short at just 24 when a fatal car accident ended his meteoric rise. His death shocked the world and left fans mourning what could have been, as he was poised to become one of the greatest actors of his generation. His untimely death only deepened his allure, turning him into a symbol of untamed youth, rebellion, and unfulfilled potential. For many, Dean represents the beauty and tragedy of a life lived on the edge, both in his roles and in his real life. Decades later, fans and historians continue to debate the truth of his private life, with biographers uncovering new insights that challenge the sanitized image Hollywood carefully crafted. His willingness to defy societal norms, both in his work and personal life, makes him a timeless figure who resonates with outsiders and rebels across generations. James Dean's mystique endures not just because of his talent and tragic fate, but because he remains a symbol of freedom, complexity, and the courage to live authentically, even in a world that demanded conformity. Number 8, Anthony Perkins. Anthony Perkins, best known for his chilling portrayal of Norman Bates in Psycho, lived a life as complex and secretive as his most famous character. His haunting performance in Alfred Hitchcock's classic film cemented him as a master of psychological horror. But behind the camera, Perkins grappled with his own inner demons. While he married photographer Barry Berenson and had 2 children, his marriage did little to silence the whispers about his sexuality, whispers that in 1950s and 60s, Hollywood could ruin a career if they became public knowledge. Perkins reportedly relied on Hollywood fixer Scotty Bowers to arrange discreet encounters with men, allowing him to navigate a hidden world of forbidden love at a time when same-sex relationships were criminalized. Throughout his career, Perkins maintained a carefully crafted public image, but the fear of exposure loomed over him, shaping both his personal choices and his professional path. His double life became a source of constant anxiety, and he is said to have undergone conversion therapy early in his career in hopes of curing his feelings, a reflection of the harsh societal pressures he faced. Despite these struggles, Perkins continued to deliver standout performances in films such as Fear Strikes Out and Friendly Persuasion, showcasing his range beyond the role of Norman Bates. But it was Psycho that would define his legacy, a film that both elevated his career and cast a long shadow over it. The character of Bates, a tortured, secretive man hiding dark truths, mirrored aspects of Perkins's own life, adding a tragic layer of depth to his most famous role. In the late 1980s, Perkins was diagnosed with HIV, a devastating secret he kept until his death in 1992. Even in his final years, he chose to shield his truth from the public, fearing the stigma that surrounded both AIDS and homosexuality at the time. His passing left behind a legacy of extraordinary talent and unforgettable performances, but also an air of mystery that continues to fascinate fans and film historians alike. Today, Perkins is remembered not only as a brilliant actor, but as a symbol of the struggles faced by LGBTQ+ individuals in Hollywood's golden age, a man who, like many others, was forced to hide in the shadows of an industry obsessed with maintaining a picture-perfect image. Number 9. Spencer Tracy. Spencer Tracy's on-screen chemistry with Katharine Hepburn is the stuff of Hollywood legend, their films together defining an era of classic cinema. But their off-screen relationship remains shrouded in mystery, filled with contradictions and rumors that continue to fascinate fans and historians alike. While their romance was celebrated as one of Hollywood's great love stories, many believe it was a carefully orchestrated narrative designed to protect the reputations of both stars. Behind the glamorous facade was a complex and deeply private connection that defied traditional labels. Tracy, known for his rugged charm, gravitas, and commanding presence, was reportedly involved with both men and women throughout his life. His strict Catholic upbringing, however, left him tormented by guilt over his desires, particularly in an era when homosexuality was both criminalized and considered morally unacceptable. Friends and colleagues described Tracy as a man plagued by inner conflict, turning to alcohol and solitude to cope with the weight of his secrets. Despite his fame and success, he remained a deeply troubled figure, one who never fully reconciled his public persona with his private reality. Hepburn, too, was rumored to have had romantic relationships with women, with biographers speculating that her bond with Tracy may have been more about companionship and mutual understanding than a traditional romance. The two shared an undeniable affection and loyalty to one another, but their partnership may have provided both stars with the protection they needed to navigate a harsh, judgmental industry. Together, they crafted a carefully curated image of timeless love, an image that suited the studio system's expectations and helped keep the press at bay. Their decades-long relationship remains one of Hollywood's most enduring enigmas, a complex story of love, loyalty, and the need to hide in plain sight. In a world where living authentically wasn't an option for stars like Tracy and Hepburn, their bond offered a kind of refuge from the pressures of fame and societal expectations. Today, their connection is viewed through a more modern lens, seen not just as a love story, but as a reflection of the personal sacrifices made by LGBTQ+ individuals during Hollywood's golden age. Their legacy endures as a reminder of the hidden truths that lay beneath the glitz and glamour of classic cinema, a powerful symbol of both resilience and the enduring need for acceptance. Number 10. Tyrone Power. Tyrone Power was one of Hollywood's most dashing and charismatic leading men, captivating audiences with his charm, good looks, and unforgettable performances in films like The Mark of Zorro and Blood and Sand. A true matinee idol, Power embodied the ideal of the classic romantic hero, effortlessly transitioning between swashbuckling adventures and dramatic roles. But behind the scenes, his private life was far more complicated than the polished image he projected on screen. Power was rumored to have had relationships with both men and women, including several prominent figures in the film industry, such as composer Lawrence Hart and actor Cesar Romero. Among his Hollywood peers, Power's bisexuality was an open secret, one he carefully concealed from the public to preserve his status as a leading man in an era that demanded strict heterosexual ideals from its stars. The pressure to maintain this illusion weighed heavily on him, forcing Power to navigate a double life, balancing his desire for personal freedom with the harsh realities of a judgmental industry. Despite the constraints of the time, Power's charm and talent made him one of the most beloved actors of his generation. His ability to captivate audiences was unmatched, but his off-screen struggles reflected the emotional toll of living inauthentically. Friends and colleagues described him as a sensitive, introspective man who longed for deeper connections but was constantly aware of the risks of being his true self in a society that wasn't ready to accept him. Tragically, Power's life was cut short when he passed away suddenly from a heart attack at the age of 44, collapsing on set while filming Solomon and Sheba in Spain. His death shocked Hollywood, leaving behind a legacy of timeless performances and lingering mystery. Even decades later, Power's story continues to fascinate fans and historians, with his complex identity challenging the carefully curated narratives of Hollywood's golden age. Today, Tyrone Power is remembered not only for his on-screen charisma, but also as a figure of resilience in a time when stars were forced to hide their truths. His life stands as a reminder of the personal sacrifices made by many LGBTQ+ individuals during that era, as well as a symbol of the hidden realities beneath Hollywood's glamorous surface. Despite the secrets and struggles, Power's legacy endures, a testament to his talent, his humanity, and the complexities that shaped his life behind the scenes. These stories remind us that Hollywood has always been a place of illusions, where stars often had to play roles both on and off the screen to survive. The Golden Age may have been glamorous, but it was also a time of deep personal sacrifices for many. What do you think about these hidden stories? Did any of them surprise you? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this trip back in time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more fascinating stories from Time Capsule TV. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.